on perfectly. The people loved him, and when he brought Cavendish to justice, they would love him even more. Nothing could mar his good mood. "Afternoon, Latham," a voice cooed in his ear, interrupting his thoughts. As he turned, the smile disappeared from his lips. Standing in front of him was a woman with shockingly red hair, a tiny waist, and a bright and flashy dress. Red Harrington. It made Cole uncomfortable just to be seen talking to such an improper lady, but she clearly didn't care. "Just wanted to let you know how grateful I am for the chance to see that animal hang," the woman went on. "Indeed. Now, if you'll excuse me, Miss Harrington, I have business to see to," Cole said dismissively as he began to push past her. Red Harrington raised one perfectly arched eyebrow. "Still having train trouble?" she asked his retreating back. Cole stopped and turned. With a wink, she spun on her heel and walked away, a barely noticeable limp to her step. Stifling a groan, Cole continued through the market. Every other step or so, someone would come up to shake his hand or say congratulations, slowing his progress. But eventually, he found what, or rather, who, he was looking for. Rebecca Reid stood in front of a table, covered in silk scarves and bright folded parasols. A newspaper ad was on display, showing beautiful women wearing the scarves in a bustling city, the epitome of high fashion. Rebecca's 7-year-old son, Danny, stood beside her, using his finger as a pretend gun to shoot at the items in the various stalls. Picking up a stunning blue scarf, Rebecca held it to her chest, admiring the soft texture and vivid color. Kai, a small Chinese woman who worked at the stall, smiled and held up a mirror. Gazing at her reflection, Rebecca smiled. For a moment, she actually felt beautiful. Suddenly, Kai put down the mirror. "For you," she said, forcing the scarf into Rebecca's hand. Confused, Rebecca tried to protest, but another voice stopped her. Turning, she found herself face to face with Latham Cole. "She's right," he said. "Matches your eyes." Embarrassed by the attention, Rebecca nodded her thanks to Kai and then stuffed the scarf deep into her pocket. Together, she and Cole walked on, Danny following close behind. "I didn't think you'd make it out, Mrs. Reid," Cole said after a moment of silence. Rebecca shrugged. "Just wanted to see what all the fuss was about," she answered matter-of-factly. She felt Cole's shoulder brush hers and stifled a shudder. She was a married woman, yet he was always seeking out her attention. It was unnerving. "And what do you think of our endeavor?" Cole went on, apparently oblivious. "Looks to me like a lot of men digging in the desert," she replied. Cole didn't reply. Instead, he turned to Danny. "Ever had a Blue Point oyster?" The young boy shook his head. "One day soon, you'll be able to get on a train right here in Colby, ride it all the way to San Francisco, eating New York oysters packed in ice. Sail on to China and come back around the other side if you want to." "That true, Mama?" Danny asked, his eyes wide. "I'll believe it when I see it," Rebecca replied warily. They had come to a stop in front of a stall with various children's toys displayed. Picking up one of them, Cole twirled it in his hand. Dropping a coin on the table, he handed the toy to Danny, who eagerly grabbed it. "I expect on a lawman's salary, a lot must fall on you," Cole said, looking at Rebecca. Taking the toy out of Danny's hand, she placed it back on the table. "We do just fine, thank you," she replied icily. True, being on the farm all by herself while her husband and his men roamed the wilds wasn't easy, but it did no good to dwell on it. It was her life. Hardship and all. And it was the sacrifice she made when she married Dan Reid, Texas Ranger. Cole seemed to sense that he had pushed Rebecca hard enough. "I meant no disrespect," he said, holding his hands up apologetically. "They don't make men like your husband anymore. Kind that settled this country. Fact is, I envy him. A fine family, a boy to carry his name." He paused, his eyes lingering on Rebecca for a moment too long. "I just hate to see a bird in a cage." Tipping his hat, Cole turned and walked away. Behind him, Rebecca watched him go, her eyes narrowed. The man gave her the willies.